This is Fisker on the daily chart, and after smashing through the daily bias level at $4.40, price wasted no time getting to my next target at 350, and so I'm going to have to make a new target, and we're going to move it to the psychological round whole number at $3. Now, scrolling up to the weekly chart, you can see how price was just in and continues to be in a straight decline, making lower lows, lower lower highs. All right, so why did price gap down today? Well, let's get into this article. It is coming from Yahoo Finance. So Fisker stock slammed as EV maker cut production forecast, delays Q3 filing due to material weakness in financial control. So Fisker shares are sliding. They slid 20% midday today after the pure play EV maker cut its production guidance and delayed the filing of its 10Q due to finding material weaknesses in its internal financial controls. The CFO had to say and said the company is cutting its 2023 production guidance to a range of 13 to 17,000 units in order to enable the company's global delivery and logistics platform to scale and not sit on inventory. Fisker challenges with delivery resulted in 4,725 vehicles produced, but only 1,097 delivered. The CEO, Henrik Fisker, said customers were waiting a long time for their vehicles and were getting annoyed. Now, Fisker's production forecast stood at 20 to 23,000 units, which itself was reduced from a prior forecast of 32 to 36,000. So that's roughly a 33% reduction. And again, from the 42.4 earlier this year. So you're going to cut that in half from earlier forecasts beginning of the year. And you can see why prices have just been collapsing. All right, so even more alarming for investors is the delay in filing its Form 10Q quarterly filing with the SEC. Now, last week they announced that they were going to push off their quarterly earnings announcement, and that kind of scared investors. And so the bad news continues for Fisker and its stock. After pushing back its earnings release a week ago due to the appointment of a new chief accounting officer on November 6th, Fisker said in a filing that it determined that it has material weaknesses in the company's internal control over financial reporting. Now let's get into the actual numbers of the quarter. Fisker reported revenue of 71 million versus 100 million estimated by Bloomberg. Fisker reported an EPS loss of 27 cents versus the 21-cent loss expected. This resulted in a net loss of 91 million and an adjusted gross margin percentage of 9%. Fisker reported its cash and cash equivalents stood at 527 million at the end of the quarter. Now, I like Fisker. I think they are doing things a bit different and thinking outside the box as they actually outsource their making EV production to a company located in Germany. However, as we've seen in this current interest rate environment, it hasn't been kind to any of the EV makers out there, even Tesla. So, what's the big picture? Well, prices continue to decline from an all-time high of $32 that was established back in March of 2021. Bigger picture, again, you can see how prices are making lower highs and lower lows. Where is the bottom? No one knows, but in order to establish a bottom, you need to see at least divergence between a oscillator indicator, in this case is the RSI, and price action. Yes, price is making lower lows, but so is the RSI, right? So one way to determine a bottom is using a trend line on the oscillator. So that's one indicator to say that a bottom might be coming in. Now you can see, although price gap down, you see this volume. Again, that volume was because of the gap down. So even though it's green, don't let that deceive you. Another way, short term, you can put a trend line going down from the most recent leg higher. Again, wait till price breaks that trend line as an indication that a price may have bottomed. But what you want to see at a bottom is you want to see high volume, and confirmation is going to be more validated on a higher time frame, like the weekly chart in this case. So again, unfortunately, the sentiment is bad out there, and so I have to follow price action, and the chart suggests there is still more downside risk. Again, the next target is the $3 level. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.